going on, mushroom people? Everybody, I hope everybody can hear me okay. I'm pretty sure everything's working. What I'm going to be doing is pouring ketchup cups. Billy, what's going on, Bill D? Who brought refreshments? I did. Let's see, what do we got? I got me some Diet Mountain Dew. I don't drink, so. Anyways, everything's cleaned up here. I'm getting ready to put my gloves, mask on. I got this new habit I do. I know my mask coming from a box, but I breathe out through the mask. So I figured the outside has crap on it, maybe. So what I do is before I do anything, I start spraying my masks. But I got to let them dry because I end up asphyxiating myself, which is not entirely horrible, but it's not fun. Anyways, got to get my mask on. Sorry about the noise level, guys. If you hear anything in the background, I got to have the hood running tonight because we're going to be pouring Agar. I got a nice bottle here. Boopity boop. This here is 1% sorghum Agar. Agar. It's 1% sorghum. That's all it's in is sorghum syrup at 1%. And I'm using a little bit under regular the 500 milliliters of water. Usually use 10 grams of agar. I'm using 9 because I don't want it to be quite as firm as it can be. I got these funky long gloves tonight because we're pouring ketchup cups. Now, ketchup cups are a little bit different. They're harder because you don't just open them, pour, and then close them. So any surface that's going to be on top of the work area, I want to have gloves on so that I can't have open skin on top of them. Because as you'll see when I'm pouring ketchup cups, this is a really, really, really good way to do that. You spray your arms up the cups like as far as you can. So if you do happen to go over a plate, like normally you wouldn't want to be over a plate when you're doing any sterile work, but if you do happen to go over them when you're putting the lids on and stuff, you're protected a little bit. So you spray all the way up to the top. I've already sprayed these before I even put them on. And I think I've only worn them once to mix up CVG, so they're pretty sterile, or not sterile, they're pretty clean. Then you just make sure everything's nice and wet with alcohol. And I'm just going to let these dry for a few minutes while we're waiting for the agar to cool. Can you guys hear me okay? Pacers, Newbie, Bill? Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Cade? Just showing some people how to do some ketchup cups for the beginners that want to possibly use ketchup cups. They might have just a still air box, may have a small hood, maybe just working in a still air room, like a small bathroom with no fans running. You can do all sorts of different sterile procedures sanitary procedures, I should say, to make sure you get a little bit less chance for contamination. So, thanks, Newbie. So I got a standard cup of, I don't know if I got these at Walmart or the grocery store, but they're Simply Done 50 cups. They are 2 fluid ounces each. As you can see, they're just standard ketchup cups, nothing special. The lids are not PP5, so you cannot sterilize these in a pressure cooker at above 250 degrees. So you have to pour these, which makes it a little complicated because these are technically not sterile. Now, they're machine packaged and they're pretty good. I mean, I have maybe 1%, 2% that I lose. And that's not even like right away. That's like a month out or 3 weeks after pouring them. Occasionally you'll find something with a little bit of bacteria. It's very rare that I do with ketchup cups. The issue I have with ketchup cups is for isolating and stuff like that. There's not enough surface area. But what these are great for is if you have a clean culture on a plate, on a Petri dish, taking a transfer out of that Petri dish onto a ketchup cup, then use the whole ketchup cup in your grain spawn. I use that all the time. And what you end up with is like a round puck on the side of your jar or your bag, and it myceliates out from there. It's beautiful. I'll show you guys some of those if we get done and I have enough time. I got a couple that are looking wonderful. I switched up my grains, so I got some really cool stuff going on. So anyways, I'm going to open the cups and show you how I set up for the cups. Everything here has been sterilized, or sanitized with alcohol, or it's been through a pressure cooker. Okay, we're still a little warm, so we got a little time. I'm just going to let the agar sit in front of the hood for a minute. I'm going to show you how I set up to do ketchup cups. Now everything's been sprayed. I'm going to spray a little more just to be safe. I got a brand new blade on my scalpel. I'm going to open the cups up. Nothing fancy, just cut the top. Okay, now these are not sterile from the factory, so you just got to be working with them the best you can. When you're using Petri dishes and stuff, you can be a little more cautious, but for these, they're pretty good. I mean, they're not perfect, but they're not horrible. I mean, so what I do is I take out about half the stack of lids, and I just put them face down in the corner. Okay, they're just going to sit right there for a little while. I'm going to take out about half the cups. The same thing. Now I'm just going to take the rest of the bag and just close it up and put it to the side for now. I might not need them. I might. I want to pour a few agar dishes too. I got 10 left. I ran out. That's why I'm doing ketchup cups, so I can do that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can do that, newbie. You can put them in the PC with aluminum foil because it's just the lids that are PP5. You could do that. I prefer pouring them because I can pressure cook my agar, and it's just I prefer doing that. Just me. I like pouring. I find this relaxing. But yeah, you can do that. You got to be careful though because you can still get a lot of condensation when you pressure cook these versus pouring. I'm not going to get any condensation on my lids like you would if you did a no pour pressure cook with the aluminum foil. You'd have to actually dry those off or even put the lids on after, and at that point you're contaminating the possible clean dishes with putting fresh lids on that haven't been pressure cooked. So it's kind of like a 50-50 your choice. This is not a sterile procedure. This is just getting it as close as you can, and yeah, just getting it as close as you can. But yeah, so we're just waiting for the agar to cool down a little bit. It's still a little warm. I actually at 5 o'clock I decided I wanted to do something, so so we're at 137, 120. Okay, why is this different temperatures? 138. Okay. So once that gets down to about 125, we'll start. How I do it is I take my cups and I lay them out. I put like 5 coming towards me from the fan out. I put 5 in this direction. I pour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I put 5 lids. Move them to the side. Do 5. You know, I do rows of 5 from in front from fan filter side, like over here, back. So I'm not working over them after I pour them. Occasionally it's going to happen, but you do your best. After I put the lids on, I can put them anywhere. Usually what I do is I put 5 or 10 off to the side, and then I move the whole stack over here off the pan I'm working on. I have to work on a pan here because it's just I need the certain elevation and I need the space. My glass rack is too shallow to work on this. But yeah. Okay, you got to start at 125 and you got to stack them, and you got to leave them in front of your hood for an hour or two. I mean, you got to leave the lids on, stack them up 10 high. Don't go much more than 20 if you have to. Then every 15 minutes after they've been sitting, you turn them 90 degrees. The whole stack. You just take the whole stack and you turn it 90 degrees. You do that 4 times, and that'll eliminate most of your condensation. Yeah, that's what you got to do. I just got a flow here. I'm super stressed about the orientation of my cups. Thankfully, you set them up the same way. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jenna. When you're in a flow hood, you have a lot better chance of doing ketchup cups safely. Like I said, I mean, I've poured so many ketchup cups in this flow hood and another. I rarely get contamination when you think you'd get a lot more because they're not technically sterile. Like they haven't been through a industrial radioactive sterilizer or whatever they have, the gamma radiation, whatever they use to sterilize at lower temperatures. Yeah, you can't seal them. You got to let them sit, kid. You got to let them sit for a little while. But these, you don't. This is why I have to start these at 125 to 120. And I got to work somewhat swiftly. Don't try pouring 50 or 100 of these at a time if you're new. Do 10. Do 20. Learn how to do it. Learn how to do it swiftly. I could pour 100 of these in 10, 15 minutes if I wanted to, but you shouldn't. I mean, I'm going to do, this is 500 milliliters. I'm going to do 250 in ketchup cups and 250 in 90 millimeters I got up there. But I wanted to show people how to do the ketchup cups because I've been getting a lot of questions on it. But yeah. Let's see who else is here. Hello, Ant Walker. Nice to see ya. Yep, just I got a secondary camera that I'm actually watching myself watch you guys, so it's pretty kind of cool. But yeah. So let's see. Make sure my screen's right. Good. Doo-doo-doo. So, how's everyone doing this weekend? Got a few people here on a Friday night. I don't know how many people I can't see. I got 3 likes. Newbie, what's up? Nice. You got a gorilla. I love this thing. It's freaking beautiful. Like I had said in my earlier post about the grow tent, I got a gorilla from a contest on Instagram, and it's 2x4 by 72, which happens to be 7 inches too tall for my room. So I modified it by cutting the uprights of the poles 12 inches, and it went together perfectly. And it's working. It's great. But I had other poles, so I didn't have to worry about it because I had plenty from other stuff. So yep. Nice. Thanks, Bill. I can't see how many people on this thing. All I can see is the likes, 3 of them or whatever. But I got a new setup going. If you guys see the stream going across the bottom, like somebody was telling me about this thing about buying a coffee for your friends and stuff. So I set up one of these Ko-Fi accounts where you can, donate $1. You can buy me a coffee, whatever you want if you're interested. I'm not asking you to do it if you want. But I'm also going to be putting content on there. So there's tiers of membership, and the memberships will come with stuff in the future. I just got to figure out how to work that all. So we're figuring it out, but it should be fun. I don't, B. Hendrix. My agar in this bottle right here is sterile. So there's nothing going on after that. I'm going to pour those in there, put the lids on, they're done. There is no pasteurizing. So basically I've sterilized this agar liquid media. And once I pour them in the cups, they're done. These came out of the bag from the store, just like this, just a minute ago. And I'm going to pour them, put the lids on, move them off to the side, and just, that's how you do. It's not a sterile technique. It's a do your best technique. I pretty much think I'm going to get probably 98, 99% success because I've done this many times in the past, probably thousands of cups. I prefer Petri dishes, but when you're broke, you got to do what you got to do. And this is the only other way to do it. Now, again, I poured like 30 plates the other day. I got 10 left of the regular Petri dish plates. So I'm going to use those for my cleaning work and stuff like that and spores, so I don't waste them on. What you do is after you get a culture clean, a lot of people just cut the plate up and put it into a grain or whatever. These I use for my final transfer. I take the last transfer to cleaning, put it into one of these, and if it grows out good, I use this whole thing in the grain. So I got a way of just splitting things up a little bit to save a few bucks here and there. Oh, no. I won't let it cool too much. I'm good. I know exactly how hot it is. I got plenty of time. I could pour this 500 milliliters in about 2 minutes if I had to. I love pouring. Yeah, it's almost ready. Yeah, it's ready. Okay, here we go. Just do one final spray. On that side. And I hope you guys will be able to see everything. So I'll grab a few cups. So there's 5. Okay. Of course, I'm going to screw this up trying to do it for you guys. But anyways, you put out 5 cups in a row like this, or 4, whatever you can fit across your thing. Okay, then you just pour them. I do them about 1/4 of an inch thick. Then take your lids. You just go 1, 2. Of course, this isn't going to work because I'm doing it live, guys. I apologize. It's not going to be as smooth. Then after you do your lid, you just snap them down. Stack them up. There you go. Now, I'm going to show you how I can go a little bit faster just the way I normally do it. instead of trying to show you how I do it. I take 1 cup, I take the whole stack. Now this is how, like, if you've done it before, I do it. Just pour a little bit, push that one off to the side, pour a little bit, push that one off to the side, pour a little bit. It takes a little bit more dexterity to do it that way, but you don't have to lay out all the cups at the same time. That's just the way I normally would do it. And again, that's why I use these big gloves for this, because I'm going to be working over these. And okay, and then you continue. Now you can do another thing too, where you can do 2 in the back row, or you can do a double row. Now again, these are not as easy as using Agar dishes or regular Petri dishes, but what you guys do sometimes. Let's just, so I need 6 more to make 25. Now these are a pain to do. I mean, they're not simple things to do, but if you don't have Agar dishes and you don't have, means to do regular Agar dishes, Petri dishes, sorry, this is how you gotta do it. I'm dropping everything here, guys. I'm flustered. I don't know. This is the way my arms work sometimes. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Spilled. Now we get to learn how you clean. Take the spilt cup, throw it away. Slow down now. Sorry, guys, I'm having a little bit of a crisis here. Anyways, so that's what happens when you try to screw everything up. Okay, now, after you pour several cups, you basically want to just let them cool for a few minutes while you still got time. I got a little mess here to clean up. I've started screwing up everything because I get flustered when I'm on camera. Anyways, so that's clean. Back to normal. Okay. What we're going to do is take these and put them off to the side so they get cooled off down here. Okay, so let's see if there's any questions. What's up, Michael Morningstar? Okay. Oh, let's pour the rest of the ones I want to pour. Now again, these are still gonna be clean, even though I've made a few little mistakes and spilled a little bit. Everything here was sterilized ahead of time, so I'm not really worried about it. If you drop something, let it drop. So let's put the rest of these lids on. This is the benefits of cleaning your area ahead of time and staying with a nice clean area. Mistakes happen, guys. You're gonna spill a cup, you're gonna knock a stack over. I do these things a lot. I mean, when it's important, I do one thing or I do one specific item, but I'm a freaking bull in a china shop usually, so it's a little tough for me at times to do things the way some of these guys do. They're just freaking insane. Some of the way these guys work, they just get things done so perfectly. So now we're done with the first half of the stack. We'll get another little stack out. I think we'll do probably about another quarter of this bag. And yeah, my agar temp is getting cooler, but it's not thick yet, so we're still good. Put some lids on. These guys that got the big 2 foot by 4 foot flow hoods, I envy them so much. I mean, those things are beautiful. I only have 2 feet of space to work in front of, so a little bit more compact or clustered. Okay, so we got 6, 9, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30 so far. So we'll do another 10, and then we'll do the other dishes I got to do. The other way I've done it before in the past is where you take 1 cup and then you pour them all into that cup. Like you take a cup, you go like this, you pour some in, and you pour it into a cup. There's that way too, but you don't have to. Okay, let's put these lids on. And I got to do 3 more after this one, and we'll do an even 40. And one thing you'll also notice is I don't leave the area in front of the flow hood while I'm doing this. No matter, if I drop something, I let it drop. If I have to grab a paper towel, they're right there, so I don't have to do anything else. Just grab them. So everything in this area is staying nice and in this area. So if you're in a still air box, you want to have everything set up for you before you start pouring. Otherwise, you don't want to be searching everywhere for stuff when you're pouring in a still air box. Because going in and out of the air box is not good. That's where you bring in contam. I'm lucky I'm in front of a flow hood, so I don't have to really worry about that. So as much, air being pulled in by my arms, you still want to be a little bit calm and not flustered like I am. Let's see, 3 more. Okay, so we're done with those. We'll pour the last 3, and that'll be 40. That's plenty. I have a 50 pack, and it took probably approximately 250 milliliters. And after that, I'm going to put these lids on. I got to grab something really quick, pour the rest of it before it cools off. Let's see if it's right where it should be. Of course not. Be right back, guys. Okay, so I got a stack of these. Finish off this last little bit of that. This new scalpel. Still warm enough to pour. I'll tell you guys the temperature if you'd like, just so you know how low you can actually go. It's at 114 right now. So, 113. So you can get pretty low and still have plenty of, flow in the agar. Oh, thanks, Cade. Yeah, I get flustered in front of the camera. I'm normally not this clumsy, but it happens. See if we can get 10 out of this a little bit. I got 110 milliliters left. So we're going to pour them a little bit thinner, just to get a nice batch of plates. You got to pour them a little thin. Sometimes you can swirl them around like you just saw me doing there. And it just covers the surface. And then the surface tension of the agar just keeps the plate covered. It's not going to reopen a little section where there's nothing. Two more, come on. Whoa, put the plate down. Got it. So we got 40 ketchup cups and 10 Petri dishes out of that batch. Now, like I was talking to you earlier about, Kate, is when you put these, now these are poured, I'm going to leave those right there for the next hour. The ketchup cups don't really matter because once they solidify, like these are already solid. I'm going to sacrifice one to show you guys how good they look. Once they're solid, okay, there you go. That's what they look like. They're not going to pour out. They're just nice and beautifully, it's a nice color. It's a little bit of a bluish green. I used black grit dye and blue, light blue. So anyways, that's, you know, they're nice and solid. So when I do a plate, when I colonize a plate and I put it into a Petri dish or into a grain jar, once this is all colonized, I'll have the grain jar. I'll lift the lid of the grain jar and I'll just plop this puck out. Boop, and it falls right out, usually once it's dry, but or cooled. It's still a little warm, so it's not going to do that properly. But anyways, that's the sacrificial one. So let me wipe out my mess here a little bit. Now, when you stack these, it also helps with condensation if there is any as well. Now, don't think you're going to be doing this many this quick. I know people that take that long to do 5 plates. It just takes as long as it takes you. Set up to what you're going to be doing. If you've got the ability to do 10 plates, do 250 or 200 milliliters of agar and do 10 plates. If you do it every day, you do it every day. Who cares? It's fun. That's the point of having a hobby, is having something to do. If you don't enjoy it, you shouldn't be doing it. It's work at that point. In my opinion, some people just like doing a lot. I can honestly say I like doing, 50 to 100 plates at a time, but I don't always have the opportunity to do that because either I don't have enough plates or I don't have the time. But yeah, just set up the way you're going to do it. Now, Kate, if you notice this plate, there's no condensation on there really. A little tiny bit, but that was at 115 degrees when I poured those. So there's your temperature. You want to aim at 115. Probably won't get any condensation on this whole stack. Then again, like I'm going to sit these here every 15 minutes. I'm going to take them and turn them like that. Like if you divide it into 4, turn it 15 or 25% of the way around, 90 degrees each time. And if there is condensation, what will happen is you'll see it start drying from that side facing the fan. You'll see like the lid will have a little clear spot on it. Yeah, it was cool. That's why I was exactly. There's no other reason. But again, if it does have condensation on top, when you turn it, it actually vents through because these are actually vented Petri dishes. Inside the lid, there's these little pieces of plastic that keep them from sealing. Yeah, 157, way too high. I mean, that's almost boiling. It's not boiling, but you know what I mean. That's just way too much steam coming off the top of that. But yeah, it is what it is. They're still going to work even if there's condensation. There's nothing. They won't not work, but what you're going to have is if water drips onto the mycelium, it could cause a problem. What I've done in the past is I take a clean, brand new paper towel and I spray it with alcohol, and I'll take the lid off. I'll wipe that condensation off the lid and then let it dry for a second in front of the flow, and then put the lids back on. And maybe you lose 1 or 2 here and there, but you save a lot of Petri dishes if they're really heavily condensation. Now, if you do have a little bit of water in the plate, you can just flick it out. Sometimes or just pour it off when you go to transfer. But yeah, definitely easy to do. You can save a lot of plates that way. Like these, you can see a little bit of condensation on top of these, like right there. But that'll all go away. Like if you look at the one under it, here's a comparison. This one was on top of this one, so to see where the plate was sitting, it stays nice and clear. That's because the heat, the temperature difference doesn't change as quickly. Condensation is caused from a hot and cold on different sides of a surface. That's what happens. So you end up with water like outside of a beer can in the summer. The condensation attracts to the cold beer can. So when you have hot agar inside of a plastic thing and it's cooler out here, moisture from the inside is going to suck to that cool surface. Stick to it. I shouldn't say suck. If anybody has any questions, I'm more than willing to answer any questions or anything. I'm really done pouring. That's all you got to do to pour. It's not very complicated for people. I can walk you through making agar. If anybody has any questions, you can DM me. Yeah, never space. Some people do that. I can't get away with that. I get too much condensation. 125 to 100 degrees is about my sweet spot. If I'm under 125, I'm good. What's up, JW Owen? Nice to see you. You just missed me pour some agar. I'm gonna take these gloves off because they're driving me nuts. Oh, this was a great idea. My new ones before I do this. I had a nice old pair that were really, really, really tight, but they also came on and off really easy. I got these new ones, but this cup up here is just a pain in the ass. I had some that were all rubber. Let's see. Oh my, I was gonna say the grain. When you get these little ketchup cups on grain, let me grab that grain. I want to show you guys what happens. It's so cool. Be right with you guys. If you have any questions, type them out. No, Kate. Let's see if I can find one here. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I poured these the other day. Hold on. Now these I didn't wrap because I'm gonna be using them later. So I put them in a Ziploc bag when I was done. Okay, so if you have a plate without any parafilm on it, now you'll see there's a little bit of water right here. Now you can take these and just kind of, the water goes right out of the plate. If you hold the lid, just flicks right out. Don't hit it against anything, of course. These were done the same way. See, there's no condensation on there. That's just clean, and these were just put in here, and they had a little condensation when I put them in here, but I store them right side up, and let me see if I have some with a little condensation. But no, it's not a deal breaker. You can, now this one might have had a little bit, but it pulls up in the corner, and then when you flick it out, it just kind of flicks out. You'll try it with a plate. Take a plate with some water in it, and you'll see it comes right out. And the water in there is sterile, so you don't have to worry about getting it on anything either. Once you inoculate it, then it's pretty much a different story. If you get pools of water on mycelium, it could be it'd be a little rough on the mycelium, or it could cause bacteria. But how much grafting tape per plate? Interesting. About 38 inches. I don't know. Let me grab the grafting tape. Here it is. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take a plate. This is an LC test plate. What I do with my grafting tape, I have this green one. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find the end. Oh, that's the weirdest thing I had. I was working with this earlier. There it is. Now I bought this stuff. It's like 3/4 of an inch wide. I'd rather have the 1 inch wide stuff, but this stuff works good. The stuff that's over 1.25 inches wide, it's a lot wider. I find it really hard to work with. Now here's the grafting tape. Now what you do is, how it comes off the roll is kind of important, guys. I found this out the hard way. You can use your bare hands, you can use your gloves, whatever. But when it's coming off the roll, you want the inside of the tape that's against the roll to be what goes against the edge of the plate. So for me, I do at least two wraps. So I'll go once that's halfway, all the way, 3/4 of the way. So like 2.5 times around. Then I kind of pull it down towards the bottom here and use that edge to cut it. And then I know where it is when I take it off. But yeah, if you go the other way with it coming out from the bottom, your hand is touching every part of the tape that's going inside where this opening of the plate is. So you're touching every piece of parafilm before grafting tape before it even touches the plate. So you could have contamination going there. I learned that the hard way. I was getting lots of little weird spots on a few plates, and I was watching people, and I found out that, okay, so you want to have the inside of the roll, just like the parafilm. Parafilm comes off the paper. You want to put the side that was touching the paper against the plate too. Nobody tells you that stuff when you buy it. I mean, but yeah, so that's what you do with parafilm. So yeah, just 2.5 wraps, 3 wraps. If it breaks in the middle, I might do a little more. Sometimes it breaks when you're wrapping it because you pull too tight. But yeah, these are some LC tests I did for a friend of ours that's on the chat actually right now, Pacer. So I tested the LC and it came out beautiful. That's gee whiz. This is from the December 3rd. So that's the LC growth in 3 days, 2 days, 3 days. And then this one here was also, this is my Stormtrooper. It's a little slower, but still good. And then the Louis Vuitton, it's looking good. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm just kind of showing it to the camera. So my LCs are doing good. I'm glad. I test every LC I send out, every actual syringe before I even send it. So, yep. Oh. Oh, JW, that's why I came on to YouTube, because it's going to be taped. So you can go back and watch it again. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Pacer. It just, I'm just finally getting confident enough to have my stuff go out, because I was always kind of scared, paranoid. I didn't want anybody to get anything contaminated from me. So I've done everything I can to try to keep everything either a free gift or just, you can't really bitch about someone giving you something free that doesn't work. But yeah, I'm starting to get a few people interested in my products. I got a bunch of crosses I'm doing that I'm gonna clone or get my own isolations of. So that'll be fun. So that stuff, just keep an eye out, guys. Hey, Jesse, happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays to you guys over there at Jungle Packs. How are the kids? How's the baby? Or the puppy, sorry. How's your babies? How's the puppy? Nice to see you. I'm glad you stopped in. Just chit-chatting, and I was pouring some Agar cups and some plates just to show people a different way of doing it. Or not a different way, my way of doing it. Showing people that I dropped a few, so you can screw up and still get a good result. I ended up with 40 of the 2 ounces and 10 regular 90 millimeters, and that's not bad out of 500 milliliters in my pours. But yeah, let's go. I'm torn on my syringe testing method. I like squeeze the size to add a few. You know what, Kate? I was doing that where you only have 1 or 2 drops, but you know what? I just pour some freaking LC right on the plate now. Like I put just a little squirt on there. And then what I do is, I don't know if you ever noticed it when you have LC on your plates, you'll get a little bit of like the chunky things on there. Well, what I do now is after I put LC on a plate, I let it sit flat and I kind of let the LC move around on the plate. I kind of swirl them around. I don't shake them, but I kind of swirl them so the moisture, the LC gets on the plate. And then when I put them down, when I'm watching them, letting them colonize, I take another plate and I put them under on an angle. Then all the extra LC broth slips over to the corner, and then when I open it, I can just pour it off. Very simple. And it also shows me my growth within, 3 days. So I don't have to worry about doing a little bit, not enough, whatever. Sorry, it's a clone from earlier. I cloned a whole bunch of, I had some Caspers that came out absolutely interesting. They're like almost flat. They're like huge caps, maybe, I don't know, maybe that big, like 3 inches across, 2 inches wide. But the little pumpkin thick fruits on the bottom, but they weren't tall. They were just basically like big caps with tiny little stipes, but they're fat. They're cool. I'm drying them, and they're drying beautifully. They're staying their shape and everything. So I cloned a bunch. I cloned 2 of them, 1 of them on 2 plates. And then I cloned a Moon Dance that had all this broken, the cap had splits in it, but it looked like a freaking waffle iron pattern. So I cloned one of those. I know it's environmental, but I cloned it anyways. See what happens. It was a good fruit, so I should get a better canopy on the next grow. I'm trying. Never. I am trying. I have 2 plates, 2 cultures. One from my past when I first got one. 3. Well, 2. One I don't know which one it is. I had bought one of those kits for growing lion's mane that you just open it, cut a hole in it, and fruit it. It's actually videos on it in here somewhere, maybe on IG. I ended up growing a nice piece of lion's mane from it. But I wanted to grow my own, so I have LC and I have Petri dishes with a culture from Mucilium Labs. That's Tree Dig's partner in crime there. Tree Dig's Mycology, great guy. He does a lot of agar plates and liquid culture mixes and agar mixes. Yeah, so I have a couple of cultures. I have one grain jar that I put into coconut coir and wheat grain for the substrate, which is not 100% probably the way you should make substrate for lion's mane, but it is starting to colonize. So we'll see what happens. The grain was top fruiting all of a sudden. It was like these little fruits growing on top of it. So I'm just learning about the Horacium and lion's mane and all that stuff. I've always been into the cubes, just the regular everyday albinos and regulars, but mostly albinos. But yeah, so absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to grow lion's mane. I'm going to be trying to get or grow a few different medicinal type mushrooms that are good for inflammation, good for things like that, because I want to try to come up with a supplement for my dog as well, just to give him a better healthy life and everything like that, because there's got to be some health benefits for animals as well. So I'm going to be looking into getting some of that, either getting some, like if someone's making things with their lion's mane, if they have some seconds and stuff they don't use, leftover stuff that wouldn't be eaten by human, still good, but doesn't look pretty. Yeah, I'm going to find something eventually. 3 days. Yep. That's it, Jesse. Oh, damn. I haven't talked to him in so long. I forgot his name. 3 days. Matt. Yep. Yeah, nobody's online anymore from those guys or anybody. You see them once in a while in the chats, but everybody's so scared of going on online anymore. I don't understand it. I think there's a lot of people out there that are just really really mean. They just don't want to let people succeed or have fun. I mean, that's just the way it is. I think it's a lot more to do with the reporting of accounts than it is to do with AI, because there's a lot of people that just mind their business and they just still put stuff up. And then there's people like I just saw the other day, Dinosoil got their account pulled down off IG, and they make freaking poop dirt. They make dinosaur poop dirt. I mean, they don't even make anything to do with anything slightly illegal or anything slightly controversial. They make soil or substrate. How do you? Yeah. Whatever. But anyways, hey, what's up, nerdy? But yeah, I think it's a lot to do with haters and stuff like that. If you talk to the wrong person, you do the wrong thing. I'm just about learning from everybody I can and finding out all the stuff I can. An old thing I learned in an old AANA group 20 years ago is, now I don't follow those NAAA things. I'm clean, but it's not because of them. But I did learn something. It's, you might not pick something up from every meeting, but you can always take one or two things and just put it on a shelf for later. And that's what I do with everybody I talk to online. If I find something from somebody that I might be able to use at a later time, I take that video, I go through it, I watch it, I talk to the person. I might only find a different way of putting something down on the table. I might find a different way of wiping my hands together in front of the fluid. Put that on a shelf, use it when you can. You never know when you're going to find that little tidbit of info that's going to help you someday. So all the haters hating, all the things, they should just actually sit back. They might actually learn something and stop taking everything so personal. It's not personal. It's just enjoy each other, guys. That's all you got to do. Yeah, Jesse, it's getting weird. People are just disappearing. Dichotomous Keys, he disappeared. He was making a ton of videos and stuff. Yoshi's back on Facebook now. I saw him, one of his new accounts. A lot of people that were showing a lot of beautiful fruit just disappeared all of a sudden. But nice, nerdy. Roger Rabbit. I'm not doing anything tonight. I might, well, actually, you know what I might do? Oh, I made some of that Crystal of the Gods, guys. I don't know if you saw the IG post. I ended up getting a decent result. What I did is I tested it, but I measured wrong. I ended up taking like a tenth of what I was supposed to do to test it. So I got to do a new test. But I did field the test, though. It was like a really, really small microdose. Like if you took a regular dried mushroom and took 0.1, maybe 0.2 of regular dried cubes, that's what it felt like. And that was like a 0.001 dose. So it was like a tenth of a tenth of what I should have taken. But anyways, so it did work. I'm going to be doing it again. I got to get a few gallons of Everclear. And that's prohibitive right now at this point. Especially with the holidays and everything. I got a few things I got to buy for people. So prohibitively cost-wise, things are getting slower right now until probably mid-January, or if I start, getting a few sales going, different things. Hopefully I'll have some of my new crosses up on fruit soon, so I can put them in pictures and get clones done and get some isolations out. So I got about 6 or 7 different crosses started, maybe more, and then a bunch of parent cultures from those crosses started. So yeah, this should be interesting. Yeah, I used 75 grams to make it. It was kind of a pain in the ass, the solvent. So I'm going to try it differently next time. I'm going to do 25 grams. So if I can get 25 grams to work properly, then I could do it 2 or 3 times, and it'll save the solvent because you can reuse the solvent afterwards, at least for one of the pulls. What you do is after you filter everything out of the solvent, you end up having the separation during the crystallization. After you separate it, all that alcohol is separated off. You still can use it. It's not bad. It's just not perfect. It's not as clean. It has a little bit of material in it, but you can still use it. It's still going to do the same thing in the end run. It might be nerdy. I can't tell you yet. I'm gonna try it again. I got to take a better dose. I dosed wrong. I was thinking. I measured micrograms and milligrams, and I screwed up. I took such a small amount. It was like 3 grains. It did nothing. It made me like, I can't say it did nothing. It did work. So it was strong. It was just basically like taking 0.1 of regular, 0.2 of microdose. And that's what it should have been. Because I did take way too, not enough. I basically made 75 grams into 2 grams of crystals, and I took like maybe 0.1 would be, let's see, 75 grams. So it would have ended up being every 0.01 would be equal to a gram, and I ended up taking like a 1/10 of a gram. So I screwed it up. It's worth it for science. Oh yeah, absolutely, it did work. Actually, I got. It didn't finish either. I got 1.93 grams out of the first dehydration or crystallization into the last dish, but I had the rest of the mix I left in the jar overnight, and it ended up what's that word? Not perspiring, precipitating some more crystals at the bottom. So I poured off the alcohol, and there's a nice layer. So I'm probably going to get another 1/2 to a gram out of it. So the measurements are going to be different. So I actually ended up even taking less. I'll figure it out. Yeah, that's there's different ways. I've actually just Kate, I'm reading your comment. I just signed up for that Ko-fi, buy your friends a coffee or whatever. It's like a Patreon but different. You can just go in and say you want to just say you want to give somebody $1, you can do that. You can give them 50 cents. You can give them whatever you want, and that's a way to support people. It's like a tip service because YouTube won't let people tip on live chat until you have so many freaking followers and all this monetization crap. And honestly, monetization is probably not going to happen for my account for a long time, even if it even does because of the subject matter. But yeah, I've had a lot of people saying, "Hey, where can we donate this and that and this and that?" So I said, "Okay, I'll set up a coffee account. Buy me a coffee thing." That's what's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If anybody's curious, I'm going to start. I've started putting a few things up there. I put like 3 or 4 different pictures up there of fruits and stuff just to see what their platform says, if anything. And then once that's figured out, I'll have that going. But let's see. Yeah, so these are all dry. That's how thick I pour them. A couple of them I got some on the lid because they knocked over, but that's fine inside the cup because it's sealed basically. Oh, I got a trick to show you guys about ketchup cups. When you're working with ketchup cups and you're cleaning them before you open them, when you're cleaning them, make sure you spray underneath here. Make sure you spray in there and let it soak for a few minutes so that anything that got up under the rim, I don't know if you guys can see me here. If you get anything that got up under the rim, just let that soak for a few minutes before you open these. And then before you open them, just get it out, just sweep it off, and then you can open it. Make sure you clean around the rims real good because that's where a lot of people get contamination on their cups. Same with plates. If you play with plates without parafilm on it, the edges are where the stuff's going to get in. And then you're going to have stuff growing from the sides. These plates, if you saw something underneath, it would be, these are clean. I know they're clean, but like there, I got one little hole right there. I missed a little spot. That's okay. It'll grow around it. But these look pretty good. Like I don't want to touch the edge because if I touch the edge with my bare fingers, it's more of a chance. Right here, I'm pretty much, it's not going to really. But my hands are clean anyways. I sprayed them with alcohol. They're not sterile. But yeah, they hide in the crack, baby. Cooties in the crack. Well, let's see the result of what. I'm sorry, I can't understand where you're coming from on that one. So but yeah, I just felt like hanging out with you guys. See if anybody show up tonight and have a little chat, pour a little Agar. I could go grab some stuff if you guys want to see. Oh, my experimental tins of my cakes. I got all the fruits I could out of them, and then what I did, this is gonna totally blow my mind if it works. It's 99%, 85% chance it's not gonna work. I took all the dried cakes because I mentioned to some people that I was using the pans I used were too small. There wasn't enough moisture in the substrate for it to fruit multiple flushes, and soaking it just didn't work out because they're only small tins, about maybe 4-inch by 5-inch. So all the fruits that came off, I took them off. Now all the cakes that were getting ready to flush again that were just dried out, I took all those cakes, I think 12 of them, I broke them all up in a bag, added in some water, added in some cocoa core, mixed it all up, and put it into a mono tub, a Micropose Mark II, the medium-sized one that I got from somebody. So I put them all in there, and I'm letting them recolonize, and I want to see what grows out of it, just for the hell of it. Hey, good morning, good evening, Sandy. What's going on? But yeah, so it should be fun. See what comes out of that. That's an intent. So anyways, yeah, I was trying birdseed, and that's working wonderful. And then I tried yesterday or the day before, I put whole oats that I found. I had whole oats a couple years ago, or a little over a year ago when I first started, that I thought the bag was horribly contaminated or something. And I put a bunch of them in a Ziploc bag and just left them up in the, in the tote upstairs. They were still new. They weren't hydrated or anything. So I don't know, they've been sitting for like 6 months and they're still in perfect condition. So I did a new batch and I cooked them up. And my new PC is just a total game changer. Everything is pressure cooking at 15 psi, maybe even 16 at times, perfectly for the right amount of time. It comes up to temperature quick. I'm venting it perfectly for the 15 minutes beforehand. Everything is running so nicely with that thing that I honestly think that's where a lot of my problems were coming from with my old PC. I was spending so much time just trying to get it to stay at 15 psi, or the gasket was blowing out, or this or that, and it was just, everything was screwing up. I think the amount of time I was spending trying to get it to work, I was not letting the grains properly colonize, or just things were not colonizing properly. So every time I was testing things, it just wasn't working out. And I ended up having a lot of success, though. That's the scary part, because I did have failures, but I spent so much time messing with it that I wasn't concentrating on the mushroom side of it. I was concentrating on, oh my God, I got to get all this shit sterile, but it would still stay sterile, but it was just such a pain in the ass to do it that I didn't have time to do things the right way, to do other things the right way. So I was getting just dumb thoughts trying to work out things, but everything's going good now. So I got shoe boxes going. I got my 8x6 or 9x, they're like 8x10, or they're about the size of an iPad. Those are the trays I'm using now. They're a lot better. And I'm using 6-quart shoe boxes and bags. Those little trays are great. I was trying to run a bunch of cultures on them just to see what would happen, but you know what? I'm going to stick with just running a few and just limit the amount I can run. Most of them look the same anyways between browns and whites. So just have a bunch of browns, have a bunch of whites, see what happens. But yeah, so I mixed all the old cakes in one mono tub. Maybe but because what I'm thinking is, they say that the strongest of the mycelium will survive if you mix cultures together. Okay, I agree. But what if they've already colonized a substrate? That mycelium's already established on those grains in that substrate. Now, yes, it might grow out and absorb water from the rest of the mixture, but shouldn't each grain that's already myceliated grow its own type of mushroom? So I should have a whole tub full of a bunch of different mushrooms, I think. I don't know. I don't think, because they can't. Oops. I'm glad those are dry. Cool. Anyways, yeah, don't wave your hands around. You got fresh plates. So yeah, that's my thought on that. I got a bunch. It's basically like putting all these cups into a thing, and no, I wouldn't. So anyways, yeah, that's what I did. I took all those cakes, and it's just like when people put their stuff in the compost outside. I don't have an outdoor compost right now because it's snow on the ground. So I put them all into a mono tub in a bag. I put them in a trash bag, mixed them all together. I added about, I don't know, maybe half a gallon of water into it, added a bunch of brand new CBG on top, mixed it all in real good, just closed the top of the bag and laid it in there, and it's colonizing now nicely. So see what happens. Nice. Sandman's got some really nice stuff, guys. Check them out. Go to DetroitMushLab.net. You can see the menu of stuff Sandman has. The DetroitMushLab.net. Yep, they got a nice menu of stuff there. You can check them out. We also have a nice tea time every morning at 9 a.m. on YouTube. Pop's Rooms. He does a nice job sharing the knowledge and caring for people the way he does. So check him out if you guys want to. Very nice people in that chat as well. A lot of us in here are from that chat, and we've met there. I've met a lot of my greatest friends on mycology there. So check them out if you need someplace to go in the mornings. Tea with Pops. Yes, he does, Nerdy. Nerdy's got them fire sweets too. He's got the sweet tooth. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask away. Let me see if I can adjust this camera real quick. Instead of you guys staring at that, you can stare at my ugly mug. Hey. There, that's better. How you doing, guys? If anybody has any questions, feel free to post them while I'm here. Nerdy's got that candy stick. So what was I? So Sunday we're gonna have a good brunch. Sunday at noon. I got a bunch of stuff to show you guys. Stuff growing, stuff starting to grow. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I got maybe 24 new things on grain that I got to show you guys. I've just done a few different process and stuff. I want to show you how the grains are growing out, the birdseed and the whole oats. And I'm also going to describe how I made my whole oats, which is a little bit different because it has an additive. I'm not going to tell you what it is now, so don't even bother asking. But it does have an additive. It's not a mineral or a nutrient. It's well, it is nutritious, but it's different. And I think you guys will really like it. It's a good way to do grains. It's very interesting. I found it from, I believe it's Renegade Mushrooms. He was making a post. I was watching videos. I saw it a while back and caught my eye, and I just forgot about it. And then when I found the oats, I said, you know what? Maybe I should try that because that might be an issue with my oats because I never had good luck with oats. But this time I've got them. I see them, and they're already growing from yesterday. And I see my mycelium has jumped off in 24 hours. That's amazing. I usually have popcorn. It usually takes at least 4 days for the mycelium to jump from the agar to the popcorn. And the birdseed and the whole oats, I've literally seen jumping from the agar pieces to the grains within 48 hours, if not faster. I had a liquid culture that I squirted in one jar and it started colonizing in 3 days, 2 days. Well, I did it on the 27th and it was on the 1st that it was showing growth. So last Sunday, whatever last Sunday was, and it was done on the 27th or 28th and it was showing growth on Sunday. So within 3 days, LC syringe, and now there's inoculation points everywhere, so it's actually looking really good. So yeah, I'll be putting all that up on the live Sunday to show you guys. I'm trying to get the screen so I can see it. Oops, what the hell? There we go. But yeah, let's see. Huh, interesting. You guys gotta excuse me for 1 minute. Our water heater is beeping. Actually, it wasn't the water heater. It was the dehydrator. I haven't heard that yet. So anyways, these are those Caspers I was talking about. Let me move the screen here so I can see what I'm showing you guys. So anyways, these are the Caspers I was talking about that had the they got a little smaller. But yeah. So here's the fruit. There's one cap. That's the one I cloned. I took the center out. But these things are so cute. These things are freaking flat and like stumpy. And they're thick. I mean, they're solid. And then the ones I was talking about with the weird caps, of course, the caps look a little different now. They've been through the dehydrator. They're kind of, oh, the caps kind of did this checker pattern thing like that. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard. I got a delay. I'm looking at okay. Anyways, I'll show you more on Sunday the way they look. But yeah, these Caspers came out beautiful. Dehydrated. They're still thick. They're still decent size and shape. They look good. So anyways, that's my new dehydrator tray. I got a couple of these. But anyways, let me go put these back in the dehydrator for a minute. I'll be right back, guys. And I'll grab one granger. Okay, this is just one of them. I just grabbed the first one I saw. This was that PMB culture I was talking about. This was from last Sunday, 12/1. And it already jumped from the Agar wedge to the grain. And that's 6 days. I mean, this one jumped right away, but it's just what I can show you for now. It's hard to see. But yeah, so that's not bad in 6 days. Another piece over here. But anyways, those are the new grains. That's the birdseed I was talking about. It's looking really good. I'm actually very impressed with it. Dropped it on the floor. We have a soft floor. Pastries don't. I hope so, Kate. I really do. Which that one? That's the one in Pennsylvania, right? Yeah, I'd love to. I just gotta figure things out. I gotta maybe if I can bring my dog. I got right now. I'm restricted on my license. I can only drive during the day because of my eyes. I had to renew my driver's license in November, and for the first time in my life, I got a restriction on my account because I couldn't read the thingy on the thing. So I have daytime restriction right now. Hopefully in February, I'll find out when I can get the surgery on my eyes, get that done, and then I'll have the restriction removed. Then I can drive at night because I don't want to go anywhere if I can't drive at night. But yeah, so hopefully it'll be good by then. Oh, good. Dogs are welcome because that would be it would be a vacation for me and Buddy. It wouldn't be just me. I would have to take him with me. Yeah. Yeah, I just saw PGT the other day he's on Michael Geeky, right? Or something like that. Or was that somebody else? Yeah, he was on Michael Geeky. Yeah, I kind of missed that. You guys, we did an interview. Medical mycologist interviewed myself, PGT. He interviewed PGT and Matt Hatter, mycology, and he invited me to come in and speak there, I guess. But anyways, we ended up all having a nice chat one night, and the freaking file got corrupted, so we lost that chat. It would have been nice to have that go up on YouTube. Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania. Nerdy. Hey, Notorious Nugs, what's up? Yeah, that was a great night. We had a good conversation that night. I mean, that was my first time really going live in anything. Okay, well, thank you, but you know what I mean. I mean, PGT, you get PGT, and the other guys, I'm just still starting out. So, anyways, that besides the point. I would have liked to have seen that again because that was fun. It was a good interview. We'll have to do something like that again one of these days. Yeah. So, anyways, that was interesting. I know I told a bunch of guys about it, and we were all kind of disappointed that got lost or whatever happened to the file. Freaking computers, you can't trust these things. I don't know how many lives I've done where something screws up, whether it's the audio or batteries dying or the video doesn't work. I mean, I finally got the audio down pat, but I'm in front of the hood, so I don't know if there's noise. I actually turned the hood down a little bit to do this, and wrapped the towel around my mic so that it's not getting noise from that side. I just have this new mic facing me right here, and you guys can, it's right here. But anyways, yeah, it's working good. So yeah. You know what, Wade? I'm honestly running a HP Hewlett Packard all-in-one computer. It's like from 2005, maybe. It's old as fuck. It's so old. It's like the ones with the touch screen and the keyboard. It had everything all in one. The CD drive in the side. It's like a TV screen size, but it's the like original type they came out. It was only like $300 when we got it. What happened is my father got one. He thought I liked it. I was just being nice and saying I liked it, and he bought me one for Christmas, and I didn't need it. I was using an iPad at the time, so he used it for years, and so he had two computers in his office, and he didn't use either one that much. He used one more than the other, and then he had this one. And when I started doing lives, I said, you know what? Maybe I'll just start using it, see what happens. So it's kind of working out. Yeah, Kate, I've done that so many times where I've actually had everything set up, and then all of a sudden my computer decides to upload updates right before my live stream. And you can't shut a computer off once it starts doing that shit. And I've had to change devices, I've had to change streaming systems, I've had to do everything. It's impossible. Like this tonight, I had to come down here. I had my PC running at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I knew it was going to be done about 6:15, and it would have time to cool before, or no, I knew it was going to be done by 6:45. It would have time to cool and be ready to come down here by 7:30. And that side of it went perfect. I had no problem with the PC side of it. I came down here at like 7 to set everything up, to get clean everything up from the last time I cleaned everything up. And move the camera around because I didn't want to use an iPad and iPhone this time. And I turned everything on. And then when I was going to go upstairs to get everything, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to shut the whole system down and start it over at 7:45. Because if you leave it on, something's going to happen where it's going to think it wants to update or decide it doesn't like talking to the internet anymore. These freaking computers do their own thing. Yep. Yep. Story time. Absolutely. It's just, yeah. That's all we have as humans is stories. We have adventures and stories, or stories of adventures. So there's not really much else to do. I'm just hoping to help people as much as I can while I'm paying off my moral debt. You know how that is, people. If you know, you know. Yeah, just things are good. But I don't know if you guys saw. I had Buddy out in the snow yesterday. God, he had a blast. It was so much fun. The video I posted, he wasn't as hyper as he was later when he went back out. He was still a little sniffy yesterday when he first went out, and I taped him. I brought the camera. I'm like, let's go play in the snow. And he just wanted to sniff and go to the bathroom. He didn't want to play. I brought him back out about an hour later, and he ran around for a good hour. It was so fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we call it, is ice cream. When he was a puppy, we got him in September of 2021. Yeah, 2021, September. The end of August, September, or September 30th. I got it written down. But anyways, we got him there, and it was winter right away. When we had a decent winter, and he got to play, and he loved it. And then the last couple of years up that were a little bit slower. Last winter, we didn't do as much because it was just past after my mom died, so we were kind of still in that funk. But this year, he just got out there, and he wanted to sniff around for like 20 minutes, and all of a sudden, something clicked in. The puppy came back out of him. I mean, he's only 3. Don't get me wrong. He's still a puppy. But he got that really puppy act of zoomies and throwing himself in the snow, diving through the bushes. It was great. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's vanilla. They're plain. Yeah, he calls the ice cream. Actually, I call it ice cream. He just runs around and plays with it. But yeah, Kate, I'm definitely going to have to get out to something one of these days. Yeah, I'm just going to have to do it. Probably next year. That'll probably be good next August or whatever, July or August, whenever. I think it was August, right? Yeah. Something campus, Pennsylvania, college campus. I know what it is. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Or we'll have to figure something out and have everybody come up this way, or I'll go down that way. Or maybe do we should have like a tour. I used to follow bands when I was 17, 18, well, maybe a little older, 20. We used to follow Korn, Limp Bizkit, and the Family Values tour all throughout New England. We spent like 3 months just going all throughout New England over one summer, 2 summers actually. We just went everywhere. That was back. We went to Woodstock '99. That was fun up in Upper State New York. That was horrible though. It was fun the trip, but the actual experience of Woodstock was horrible. They did it on the tarmac of an airport, and it was like 130 degrees the whole weekend. Everybody was freaking dying, not literally, but figuratively. But yeah, hey Chris, what's going on? You missed most of it, but we had fun. You can always go back and watch it tape. I'm gonna leave it posted up for a while, or forever. But yeah, so. Anyway, so that's how I pour my ketchup cups and my plates. I know I've done many videos. I haven't done any on ketchup cups. That's why I wanted to do that, because people keep showing them, and I don't think anybody's been showing much on how to pour them lately. And you can do it in a still air box. Just take your time, and don't try to pour a ton if you don't have to. I mean, I poured 40. That was more than enough. It's not hard to do. I usually do 250 milliliter bottles, 2 or 3 of them at a time when I do plates, because each 250 milliliter bottle pours about 10 plates for me. The 100 milliliters, I can definitely pour 10 exactly. The 90 millimeters, sometimes I get 11 or 12, or I have a couple thick ones. But yeah, they come out, they come out good. Yeah. How's that one? The cat followed you to Walmart. That's cool. Yeah. So what's everybody doing? Everybody doing anything interesting tonight, or everybody just chilling at home, playing with themselves, their mushrooms and their marijuana and shit? Stop playing. Stop. Oh, so anyways, yeah, I don't have to do it. But like I was saying about turning the plates, what I would normally be doing at this point is turning the plates 90 degrees like this. That would be what I would do every 15 minutes. But there's no condensation on these, so I don't really have to do it. What I can do is I can show you guys how I wrap my plates. Just set the camera to angle here. Clean my hands. Find my tape. Okay. So when you pour 100 plates, it gets to be a pain in the ass to do this, but when you got 10, it's not that bad. So what I do when I tape these after pouring them is I do them a little different. I just do like one really good circle. That's once, and then I go around like maybe 3/4 away another time, and then rip it off. So I do that on them. I don't go as crazy when they're new, just because all I'm doing is trying to keep them clean. I'm not trying to. Oh, see, there we go. We got a little condensation, but that's going to dry right up when I let it sit for a little while. That's not really much of condensation. That won't even be there in 2 days. It'll be gone. Another one, a little tiny bit. Actually, it's not condensation. It's more like just a little bit of fog on top. Those will dry right up, and then the next ones are dry. So 2 of them had a little bit of moisture on the top. And like I said, when I take it and I go to the bottom and cut off on an angle, you get good at that too. You just you bring it down here, twist it, and then pull it on there. It leaves you a little tab right there to pull it off when you open them. Sometimes they get lost, but usually you can find them. It's got a chunk of something in it already. Probably some caramelized sugar. But I found that wrapping the plate is the best thing to do with them when you're done pouring. I mean, I do use Ziploc bags sometimes. The reason those other ones are in Ziploc bags is because they're mostly water and low nutrient agar for a specific purpose. One of them is coconut water agar, which is a new thing I'm trying. There, those are all wrapped. I don't have to worry about them. Done. It's coconut water agar and a drop, literally a drop of sorghum syrup. So I want to see if the coconut water is nutritious enough for my psyllium to grow on. So that'd be kind of cool. Coconut water and agar, that would be a great thing, just to have a little bit of nutrient, but not too much. Then I have just regular straight water, which are the clear ones. And then I have mixed agar, which I just basically took. I had some old ketchup cups I found in a container. There was 4 of them. Like 4 or 5 containers that had a few in them. And so I put all those into a bottle, and then a couple plates that just didn't pour right, like that that first one should have had the little tiny spot missing. I have some of those I don't use or I hadn't used. So I had some agar that was maybe 4 months old, 6 months old, that brand new in the plate, just like this. But it was just getting old. So what I did is I just put them all into a bottle and re-poured it into new plates. But yeah, you can reuse agar as long as there's no mycelium on it or bacteria, contamination. So yeah. I sent you some, Chris. Cool. Yeah, I send these out sometimes. Like what I do is, like this roll is getting almost to the bottom. So if somebody wanted some plates or something in the package, I would just throw this in with it. But I'm really like short on tape right now. I think I got a couple new rolls somewhere. But with all the moving and everything, I misplaced so much shit. I got to go through and find everything now. That's the problem. But yeah, so I try to help people out on the. Ah, damn. I got a Tamponensis plate somewhere. I'm not going to look for it now. Yeah, I got some Tamps. I got it from either Fungus Frequency or no, I think that's where I got it. Oh no! I got it from no, yes, no. Okay, I gotta find it. It's gonna drive me nuts now. I got it from Happy, I think. Okay, I got Antler Reishi, Nets. Indian Graveyard. I don't know where it went. Anyways, I just got it. It's here. Guys, don't worry, you're gonna get like this too if you enjoy doing mushroom shit. Plates everywhere. It's my Pan Cyan from Burning Ban, Australia. It's a cut that oh, I forgot who sent it to me. I got it written down. It's an albino Normac. That was pretty cool. Okay, I could spend all day looking for this thing. I'm not gonna do it right now, guys. Sorry, can't do it. Anyways, but yeah, I got a Tamp sitting there somewhere. Coconut water dissolved 1% by weight. Yeah, that's basically what I did. I didn't do 1%. I literally took a bottle of coconut water, Agar, cocoa, or something with some Spanish name on it, or whatever, and I just poured it into a media bottle, added a drop of sorghum syrup. As you know, if you know any syrups, that stuff's just one drop is really small because it's so thick and it's hard to pour. So I poured one drop of that, and then I added, my normal agar. And it came out beautiful. I mean, it came out looks, just like anything else. I did dark plates. They're like half black. So they came out pretty good. They got like a greenish black tint to them. But yeah, so I'm gonna see how those grow mushrooms. I got a few things on them right now. I got this here is the Casper F1 that I just cloned. So I got one on cocoa and one on regular nutrient agar, or regular everyday agar that I use. But yeah, so that's I do have a Tamp somewhere. I got it from, I believe I got it from Happy. He got it at the Oklahoma Mush Fest recently. So he sent me 4 or 5 plates, some cool stuff. But yeah, these look pretty cool. This is the albino Normac. I've got this on grain right now. Oh, it's growing nice. It's on this blue agar, and you can see it turns white because eats all the nutrient out. Then this was that, like I was just saying, the pan cyan, but it's from Burring Bar, Australia. So instead of being TTBDI, it's Burring Bar, Australia, because TTBDI is the thing from the British Virgin Islands. This one's Burring Bar, Australia. So I might grow that one. But yeah, oh yeah, I got so many plates. They're looking good, but it takes just time. That's all. You just gotta work on them. Anybody can do it. You guys can all do it. I know you can. But yeah, so yeah, I gotta go through a bunch of them for Sunday. I'm gonna show a bunch of stuff on Sunday between grain and plates, and I got some stuff in the grow tent that I literally I just spawned it to bulk like the 28th, and it's already coming off. Top's completely covered, and throwing ropes out of the surface of the substrate. So yeah, Sunday's gonna be fun. I got a lot of stuff to show people. Just basically gonna be a Q&A day. Nothing, no guests, none of that, unless anybody wants to come on. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna spend at least a half hour to an hour just talking about my stuff, and then if somebody wants to come in, we can get a guest or something. But no big deal either way. We'll figure it out. I'm fine doing it solo. But yep, dinosaur leg. Chris, you had a dinosaur leg. Chris Jordan on. Yep, that was cool. Yeah, I sent some of the fruit. Let me read the comments here. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna call it night. I gotta get some sleep. I gotta go to the dump in the morning, see if I can find anything cool. I got just things are going good, so I'm just happy, and I'm making videos again. I had a funk for a couple weeks during the season change. I think I'm coming out of it. The only thing is I'm getting a weird schedule. I'm just sleeping whenever I want and waking up whenever I want and doing shit. Like normally I'd be just chilling for the night right now, but why not come down and do some stuff in front of the flow? I did the same thing last night. But yeah. So anyways, guys, we'll call that a night. And thanks for stopping by, all you guys. And come see me Sunday and check things out. Again, check out that coffee thing. If you guys have accounts, you want to try setting one up, it's really easy to set it up. Hey, Jolie, thanks for coming in. I didn't see it till just now. Yeah, it's buy a cup of coffee. It's like a Patreon, but it's different. It's got a cooler name. Coffee. Buy a coffee. Anyways, so that's set up for people if they're bored and they want a tip or whatever. I can use it as a donation type send stuff kind of secret thing. That was kind of the idea, just to make it easier. But anyways, guys, yeah, we can work with that and we'll talk about things at another time. Thanks for coming, guys. Much love.